Welcome to part one of Natural Looking Goddess Locks, and thank you for clicking on my channel. Please subscribe. Right here is my lovely daughter and all her beautiful hair. We're about to slay. Here I have a crochet hook, a comb, and some random hair. You can use just about any hair. I have my scissors and some glue, Gorilla Glue. And today we'll be using the Havana Twist. They're kind of ombre color. And of course that was a flat iron. And you want to moisturize the scalp afterwards with anything. You can use Cantu, any leave-in conditioner will do. So right now I am taking apart the ends of the crochet twist. Sorry about them, tongue twist. I'm stretching the hair. And at the very bottom I am untangling the hair at the bottom, of course. You want to loosen that up real good and take your comb and just comb through the ends. And with the flat iron, all I'm basically doing is I apologize about the noise, but right now I am just stretching the hair. And what the flat iron does is, of course, stretch the hair. Let's do that again. Comb those ends. Untangle the hair real good because you want the hair full and you want to be able to stretch it with the flat iron. And that's just one crochet twist, y'all. Ooh, I know it is noisy, and please don't go in my comment section complaining, honey, because you can easily mute this. The video is self-explanatory, y'all. I know I got smoke detectors beeping, dogs barking, my grandchildren running around screaming. I am that kitchen beautician for real. Right now I am parting the hair and breaking it into 3 pieces in order to do a braid. I added the crochet hair to one of those pieces. Just sit that hair aside, and you could just braid the natural hair down in order to do a goddess lock, or you can add synthetic hair for a thicker braid. And I always add hair because my daughter's hair is really baby fine, very thin. So I will be adding hair for a thicker braid. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold. You're going to braid this braid all the way down, but you do not have to complete the braid. It's not necessary. Just braid it all the way down until the natural hair is all braided up. That way you know where the end of the natural hair is, because remember, you'll be using glue and maybe a little fire to it, heat in the form of a lighter. Let me clarify that. So guys, this is my very first time doing this style, so I'm basically experimenting. That's the end of the hair. And that is the synthetic hair we will be crocheting in as we did and wrapping. So you're going to take the end of the synthetic hair and hold it and start wrapping. Now hold it, grip it you're going to grip it really good so that you can wrap the hair and you make sure you're not twisting the hair. Ooh, I'm so sorry about all that noise. I am a kitchen beautician for real. My grandchildren, they're boys, and they are noisy. So in this video, I am basically experimenting with different ways to add and wrap the hair. So bear with me. This is my first time. And let me remind you, when you add hair to do your braid, you do not want to do it too tight. You want to leave some slack in order to add the synthetic hair for wrapping. And do not wrap the roots too tight, but make sure that it gets on there pretty good, but not too tight because you don't want to pop the hair off at the root. So I'm going all the way down and I'm at the end and I'm going to add more hair. Taking that extra hair and wrapping it. And I'm going to be doing this a couple of different ways. This is just part 1 of the Goddess Lock natural look. I also have the part 2 video, so after this, stay tuned for part 2, in which I do it a couple of other different ways. Going all the way down. And remember, you don't want to do it too tight at the root because you don't want to pop her hair. You don't want a lot of stress on the hair, period. But when you get down, you want to kind of do it tight because you don't want that to slip off. If that makes sense. So now I am almost down at the end. And when I get to the end, I will be knotting it. Down at the end, I'm going to take 2 pieces of hair and make a couple of knots. Isn't that beautiful? Ombre, honey. And after those knots, you're going to want to burn the ends and mold how you see fit. You know, whatever kind of ends that you want, you mold it. You kind of burn it with a lighter. Here are the knots I was talking about. So that's one knot. Make another knot. And I advise you to use that Gorilla Glue in order to seal those knots at the bottom. You do not want to place Gorilla Glue where the natural hair is. Make sure there's no natural hair in that wrap. So placing the Gorilla Glue at the bottom on each knot. Now I'm taking the plastic bag that I got that synthetic hair in, and I'm using it to secure the glue. That's simple. You don't want to use your fingers, trust me. You'll have another problem on your hands. And I'm basically just taking a flat iron, and she wanted kind of a grungy look. You don't want that flat iron too hot, by the way, because it'll just melt all that hair together. But she wanted kind of a grungy look. She didn't want them too shiny. So I kind of just took the flat iron and pressed the lock in order to get that grungy look. It kind of makes the lock look a little old, and that's exactly what she wanted. And be careful with doing the natural hair. Remember, that top part is her natural hair. So you definitely do not want a hot flat iron, because you don't want that synthetic hair melted into her natural hair. But at the bottom, it really doesn't matter. So the bottom of the lock, I kind of did the flat iron a little bit hotter in order to get that grungy look that she wanted. Now, if you stay tuned, y'all, you guys can catch how we did some of the bottom pieces as far as just using glue and not the lighter method. A lot of people like the lighter method because it looks neater. So right now, what she wanted was a thicker lock. So I'm adding hair at the root. To make a thicker lock. That crochet needle is very handy. Pass that hair through. I apologize about the smoke detector, really. I know I said it in my last video, but now another one's beeping. So you're going to secure that. Wrap that small piece. You could just wrap the small piece around a couple of times. It doesn't have to be all the way down. I think I wrapped this one about 3 or 4 times. I have a cold, y'all. This is like flu season for real, but I got me a little cold going on. Let me clear my throat. Excuse me. And remember, y'all don't want to do this too tight at the root because you don't want to put a lot of stress on your roots. You know, because of course your hair will pop off and thin out, and you don't want that. This is supposed to be a protective style. I need some water. Get some water. So you're going to take the end of that synthetic hair, the short piece, and you're going to grip it really tight. You don't want it to move at all. So with your fingers, take the short piece and grip the braid and that piece really tight, and don't let it move because you don't want twist. You want a wrap. Now you're wrapping the long piece. Now stay tuned because I'm very detailed in some of these, and you're going to want to see different styles and different ways to wrap the hair for your goddess locks. And like I said, it's not necessary to do the roots so tight because you don't want all that stress on the hair. Let me mention, it's a good idea for your client or patron or whatever you want to call them to lay their baby hairs down first. Lay those edges down and secure your edges with something, some gel, some wax, whatever. I should have said beeswax. Not wax, y'all, not candle wax. So I'm adding some synthetic hair right here. And remember, you don't want to do these braids too tight because you have to leave a little slack because you'll be adding the synthetic hair for wrapping. And remember too, you do not have to braid the braid all the way down. Just braid up until your natural hair is all braided. And if you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. Please hit that subscribe button and give me a like if you like the video. Share it if you want. By the way, if you need instruction on how to add synthetic hair to your braid, hit subscribe, go to my channel, and look up the how to grip video. Ooh, I know it's noisy. I'm sorry, y'all. If the dogs ain't barking, my grandchildren, they're boys now. They're yelling, running around the house, fighting, just being boys. Like I said, I am not professional. I am a kitchen beautician, and I definitely make these videos out of my house. So isn't that beautiful? We're half done. And remember, there's a part 2, and you are definitely going to want to see part 2. Definitely. Especially the finished product. Yes, honey. Stay tuned. Place that crochet hook under that braid. Pull that hair through. My apologies again for the smoke detector beeping and the loud kids and the dogs. Honey, I am a kitchen beautician and I have said it about 3 times already. But right here, I am knotting that end. Put about 3 knots in there. And you can add the Gorilla Glue to secure the knots. But, you know, it wasn't really necessary, to be honest with you. But it's a good idea to add Gorilla Glue. And remember where the end of her natural hair is, because you do not want glue in the natural hair. So before you knot, be sure that the natural hair has nothing to do with the glue. Ooh, I gotta be funny, honey. Sometimes. And I know this video is long, but there's a part 2, and trust me, you are going to want to see it. It is the finished product, and ooh. And let me, I know I didn't explain this, but I did this hairstyle about 12 midnight, and she was about to get on her plane to Europe. So she wanted this amazing hairstyle so she can look good in Europe. And she certainly looked good in Europe because she got a lot of compliments. This look is amazing. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. And stay tuned for part 2. Thanks for watching.